Looking back at 2017, it was a pretty impressive year for Connecticut startups, and those startups being acquired in multi-million-dollar deals. Joining us this morning is Bruce Carlson, CEO and President of the Connecticut Technology Council, as well as Josh Geballe, former CEO of Core Informatics and now General Manager of Thermo Scientific. Thanks for being with us.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Josh, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about the company in BRANFORD and how it was acquired.
Sure. So we're a software company that serves scientists. So we help scientists accelerate their research and get new life-improving therapeutics to the market faster. And we'd gone through a period of substantial growth over the last several years here based in BRANFORD. But we were presented with the opportunity to join forces with Thermo Scientific, who's the world leader in serving science. And in our discussions with them, it became clear that they were very interested in continuing to invest in us, support our growth, and through partnering with them, we'd have access to their global distribution around the world, which would help us get our software in the hands of more scientists that could benefit from it much more quickly than we could have on our own. So it turned out to be a great opportunity to come together.
I think when people hear the word acquisition, there can be a little bit of fear, like, ooh, is this a bad thing? But in small startup companies, it's actually a good thing.
Right. They're acquiring us for our software, our technology, our expertise, and they're looking to continue to grow it and scale it. So this acquisition was all about that, continued growth, investment. We're staying here in Connecticut. We're continuing to hire actively here in Connecticut. So I think it's a good success story in the making.
And Bruce, I wanted to touch upon that with you. In this case, we did see they are staying here in Connecticut. We've had a bunch of acquisitions, and most of those companies are staying here in Connecticut. How important is that to keep the workforce here and also, I guess, to bring these companies, these now sometimes multinational, international companies, the talent that we have here in Connecticut?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's great to not, so often for previous years, companies would be purchased and then they would be moved out of Connecticut.
Right.
And that was a problem. But now I think companies like Josh's and others, we're in a situation where the talent is there. The companies outside Connecticut are recognizing the talent is there, and they are saying, let's buy the company, keep it in place, and bring more talent right to that company. And kind of following up on what Josh was saying, a lot of these companies, all companies need more money in order to be able to grow. So some of these purchases are really giving our Connecticut companies opportunities to get into markets that they've never been able to get into before, which is just going to create more opportunities and more employment in the state of Connecticut.
And now looking forward to this year in 2018, what do you think is the outlook for these startup companies? Because I'm sure more are starting up every day, and then we also have more growing.
Yeah, we actually are in a great position. I think we've gone through this period of time, about 5 years, where there's been a lot of work in the startup, the innovation ecosystem, and we're beginning to see the fruits of the labor. And so there's a number of companies that fall into this growth category that are not as far along. I mean, Josh has been doing this for a number of years, but are maybe 3 or 4 years old, but they've planted roots and they're ready to grow. And so we have, I think, a great opportunity for these tech companies to grow right here in the state of Connecticut. And I think the message that comes from a year like 2017 is these companies are good, they're strong, they've got the right management team. And so we begin to get outside of the state investment dollars in order to be able to help them grow. And that's going to be great for the state going forward.
Well, Bruce, Josh, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.